Okay, so it turns out that I've introduced everyone that doesn't live at Misselthwaite Manor and haven't introduced Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter that live at Misselthwaite Manor and they work at Misselthwaite Manor, because as I can remember, Ava's dad is the headmaster and Ava's mum is the English teacher. Now, it's a bit complicated, this introduction is going to be a bit complicated, because Ava and Ryan, they were put up for adoption, as were all her other siblings, like Melinda, Clara Louise, Quintus, Gemma, and Sabrina. And they were adopted by Jake and Paige Green, but Jake and Paige got divorced, which was very messy, and Paige got Gemma, Quintus, Melinda, and Clara Louise, while Jake had Ava and Ryan. And until they came to Misselthwaite Manor, they had no idea who their parents were, because Jake and Paige swore they wouldn't tell them, because they wanted the kids to look at them as their parents, like not adopted parents, but their like birthed parents. So when they arrive at Misselthwaite Manor, Ava is on a mission to find out who her birth parents are. And when she finds out that they are right under her nose and they work at Misselthwaite Manor and who they are, they end up faking Ava being like fainted on the floor and being rushed to hospital to get Mr. Green to come up to Misselthwaite Manor to tell them the real reason and who their parents are, and before they go up to Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter. And fast forward, they do all that and they find out who they are, and Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter end up fighting for custody against Paige and Jake. And fast forward again, they win, and Ava and the others get to live with them. And obviously, when Mrs. Carpenter finds out about the affair that Mason had, she is worried about her daughter and her granddaughters. Obviously, she's over the moon about having another granddaughter, and so is Mr. Carpenter. And when Mason misses Janice's birth, Mr. Carpenter has a worrying thought in his mind that he could be doing something he shouldn't be, and he should be at the hospital with his wife and daughters. And obviously, Mr. Carpenter don't blame Ryan for punching Mason in the nose. Excuse me. And for his actions. And they aren't he's not in their favourite book right now. So in their good book right now. So he has to win, not just Ava, but her parents and family. And by that, he has to think of a way for them to believe that he's changed, and that is going to take a lot because he's had an affair, and yeah, and Mr. Carpenter is obviously very overprotective of Ava and worries about Ava a lot, and so does Ava's mum. I mean, like, yeah.